guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I've got another reading wrap up for you for the month of September this time. So this month I read the most amount of books I have read in any of these videos. I read 5, which isn't much more than I usually read, but that's how many I read this month. So the first book was Grownups by Marian Keyes. I finally finished this. It felt like it took so long to get through this book. I ended up rating it 3 stars just because honestly, like it was interesting, but I don't know what it was about it. I just could not get through it. Now thinking back, I think actually 3 stars is really generous. I probably should have only rated it like a 2 stars. But it's basically follows like a family drama, which if you like those kind of books, then definitely should. It also was really annoying me how every single chapter was a different person's point of view. It was interesting to hear like what was going on in their opinion, but honestly, I really don't love when books do that because like I'd prefer if there was a max on how many people they switch around to, not to every single character, just because it really like takes you out of the book. It feels like you're reading a new book every single time they change characters. But yeah, so I don't really recommend this book unless it's really like you really like family dramas type thing. So the next book I read was actually Twilight. I have read Twilight before. I have read the whole entire series, but as you may or may not know, the 5th book did come out. And because I honestly have not read these books since probably middle school or high school. So, and I really wanted to read the 5th one just because I know there's a lot of problematic things with this storyline. I just had to do it for my past self. I had to read it. So I got the 5th book, but I decided I wanted to go back and read all the other ones, so I just got them from the library. So I read Twilight and New Moon this month. Honestly, I can read it and recognize the problems, but it's a fiction book. I really don't take things that seriously when I'm reading, like, so I don't know. I still think it holds up. I still read it and I'm like, I still like them, even though I know there's problematic things about them, but I give them both 5 stars because they still held up to my childhood expectations. The next book I read was This Is My America, and oh my god, this book is seriously so underrated. It has a really good score on Goodreads, but it hardly has any reviews, and I'm shocked. It's so good. It only has 586 reviews, but it's like basically it follows this the family, and it is about racial injustice and things like that. So it is very timely in case you want to read about in case you are trying to educate yourself, but you have a hard time reading nonfiction books. This still was a really good representation, and although it is fiction, it's definitely still is representative of what is happening in America. I am Canadian, but obviously the same problems are happening here, just maybe not as prominently in the news or as prominently as we think that, like, there's definitely still problems and changes that need to be made here too. But if it's honestly, besides all that, it's a really good book. It's written so well from beginning to end, and I think it's just such an important storyline that, like, you need to read this book. So I gave it 5 stars, obviously, and I'm saying read it, read it, read it. If you're seeing this, read it. The last book that I read this month I actually have the physical copy of. It's Second Life by S.J. Watson, and basically what happens is the main character's sister dies, and she's trying to figure out what and she's trying to figure out what happened to her sister because the police are having a hard time figuring it out, obviously, and she just gets herself entangled in a wild mess, honestly. And I just think the plot line is really stupid of this book. I don't think that, like, I was really hoping for a better book because I love thrillers, but this is not the book. This is not it. I I gave it just 2 stars because honestly, I thought that it just didn't make any sense. Like, I didn't think it was actually a thriller. I just thought it was a character making a lot of really bad decisions. It the twist at the end wasn't really even a twist, as there is in every thriller book. But yeah, it is what it is. I give it 2 stars because the writing is good, but it's just the entire plot. I'm like, no. I am very generous with my stars, I've realized, as I'm going through these. 3 and 2, when maybe it probably should have been a 1 and 2 of those other books. But yeah, quick video. That's actually all the books I read this month. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any other lifestyle or work content like this again. And comment down below what you read this month, and if you have any good book recommendations. I've always loved to hear that. So I will talk to you guys in my next video. Have a happy weekend. I will see you later.